To become a man, you have to grow. But to grow, you have to suffer. A lot of men want the title without the price. They want the respect, but not the responsibility. But manhood does not come cheap. It never has. There is a price for becoming a man, and most people spend their lives trying to avoid paying it. That is why so many stay stuck in half-formed, immature versions of themselves. They grow older, but not wiser. Grown in age, but still weak where it matters. Becoming a man is not about what you own. A man is not measured by what he can show off. He is measured by what he can carry, what he can endure, what he can hold together when life gets heavy. That is the price. Weight, pressure, sacrifice, the ability to stand up when it would be easier to disappear, the ability to carry more than your own feelings. That is where manhood begins. It begins when life stops being about what you can take and starts becoming about what you can give, what you can protect, what you can build. That is why this path costs so much. Because a man is not handed strength. He is forged into it. And forging is not soft. It is the part of life most people run from. You become a man by making the difficult choices, by destroying the parts of you that want ease, escape, and indulgence, and refusing to let them lead. But that is expensive. It costs you the easy life you're currently living. And this can be painful. But pain is part of the price too. And that is a truth most men do not want to hear. Pain is not an interruption of the process. Pain is part of the process. The pain of not knowing whether it will work out. The pain of not knowing if what you're doing is right. The long stretch where it feels like nothing is changing and nobody sees what you are carrying. That's all part of it. Manhood is built in the places where comfort can no longer teach you anything. Pain has a way of stripping a man down to what is real. It shows him what he actually is when there is nothing left to hide behind. And if he uses it correctly, it changes him. Pain without purpose can destroy a man, but pain with purpose can refine him. That is the difference. One makes him bitter, the other makes him better. That is why some men come out of suffering smaller, and others come out of it stronger and wiser. Because they stopped asking pain to leave immediately and started asking what it was trying to build in them. That is a different kind of strength, the deeper kind, the kind that can keep going, the kind that can bleed and still build. But part of that price is isolation, not forever, but often for a season, because growth has a lonely side to it. There are parts of becoming a man that happen in silence, in private, away from noise, away from constant validation. There are seasons where it feels like the road has gotten quiet, like fewer people understand where you are going, like the old parts of your life no longer fit, but the new life is not fully visible yet. That space is uncomfortable. But it is not proof you are failing. It is proof you are changing. Sometimes isolation is not loss. It is construction. It is where a man learns whether he can stand without applause, whether he can stay faithful to what he is building when nobody is clapping, nobody is praising, and nothing on the outside looks to have changed. That matters. Because anybody can look committed when the results are obvious. It is only in the isolation where a man's character is tested. In the quiet reps, in the private battles, in the days where you feel no rush of motivation and still do what must be done. That is where discipline enters. And discipline is one of the greatest prices a man pays. Discipline is not a mood. Discipline is a code, a way of living, a standard you hold when comfort is offering you an easy way out. A man without discipline is at the mercy of whatever he feels in the moment. And a man who is ruled by momentary feeling cannot hold much together, not for long. And that is exactly why discipline matters so much. It takes pain and gives it structure. It takes desire and forces it to become action. Without discipline, a man's suffering becomes waste. With discipline, even suffering starts becoming useful. It starts becoming fuel, direction. But the point is not to suffer for the sake of suffering. The point is to become the kind of man who can turn hardship into strength. The kind of man who can shoulder a burden others can't. A man is always paying for the life he lives. The only question is whether he is paying the price of becoming stronger or the price of staying the same. Because staying soft has a cost too. Avoiding responsibility has a cost. And that bill always arrives later. In weak habits, in broken trust, in a life that feels hollow and empty. That is why honesty matters. A man has to be honest about who he is, not who he wishes he was, not who he sounds like when he is talking big. Who he is, right now, under pressure, in private, alone, when nobody is watching. Because self-awareness is part of strength. Because if a man lacks these traits, he cannot build anything real. He will keep trying to build a life on top of a lie, and it will not hold. And that honesty also reaches into the mind, into speech, into the way a man carries himself. Because becoming a man is not only physical, it is a mental, verbal, and spiritual process. A man should say what he means. He should not speak to impress. He should not throw words around carelessly just to sound powerful. He should know when to speak, when to listen, and how to control his own tongue. He should sharpen his mind the way he sharpens his body. He should learn constantly, grow constantly. Because wisdom is not just collecting information. Wisdom is learning how to apply knowledge and experience when life gets real. And that is part of the price too. To stay teachable, to stay disciplined enough to keep growing, to stay humble enough to know there is still more in you that has to be built. And eventually, if a man pays this price long enough, something changes in the way he carries himself. Not because he becomes louder, but because he becomes more capable, more competent. He becomes someone people can rely on when things go wrong. Someone who does not panic first. Someone who does not collapse under pressure. Someone who can be kind without being weak. And that matters. Because a good man should not only mean well, he should be able to act, able to endure. That kind of capability is what separates boys from men. It is responsibility made visible. So if you want to become more, stop asking only what you can gain. Ask what you are willing to carry, what comfort you are willing to leave, what burden you are willing to accept. Those are the questions you should be asking. Because a lot of men want the title, few want the price. There is no shortcut around it. No way to become a man while staying loyal to everything that keeps you weak. So pay it. Pay it in discipline. Pay it in honesty. Pay it in becoming the kind of man who can hold the line when life gets hard. Because that is what manhood is. A life you build. A weight you carry. A price you pay. And if you keep paying it, you will be proud of the person you become.